All right, welcome back, everybody, to your game number 3 action. First match, best out of 3 of the tournament. Group stages here coming at you. Beyond the Summit World Tour, Zenith on the Radiant, Orange on the Dire, and we are at game 3. Zenith took a very convincing game 1, and then Orange took an even more convincing game 2. One of the shortest games I have cast and I've seen in recent memory. Joining me, of course, is Luminous, both of us of DotaCommentaries.com. Lumi, how you feeling? What are you expecting to see?
Well, we see a silencer ban, and as much as I want to say that it's a troll ban, somewhere deep in my heart, I really respect that hero. Imagine what Silencer Ultimate would have done against Zenith's lineup last game. It would have shred them, right? Not having Tombstone, having all those stuns and slows. Well, never mind. Okay, all right.
It's great. It's great when you get to level 6, but I feel like the game was all but over, or at least there was like 20 kills before level 6 for a lot of heroes. Still his passive is pretty good in that respect, but either way, Lumi try to make a case, but frankly, Zenith are just not banning heroes that they really don't want to see. They're just blowing their bans in heroes that we're not going to see anyway, so they're leaving a lot of good heroes in the pool.
Well, here's the thing. I don't fault Zenith for doing anything like this at all. This is a tournament to practice for the big thing, right? Which is the International 2 coming at you at August 29th at Benaroya Hall, Seattle, Washington. I mean, hey, this is a big tournament, but this is for practice, and I'm glad that Zenith is having fun while practicing as well. Whatever, don't ban random heroes. It's fine.
And they are putting on a show for the viewers.
Exactly. Let your opponent play whatever the hell they want to play, and learn to play against some nasty heroes like Lycanthrope and Darkseer or whatever. Like, there's going to be some cases where you just have to play against those heroes, whether you like it or not.
Yeah, I'm so glad you mentioned that, because it's not just about having fun. I mean, sure, that's great. We love to see these unconventional picks. It makes you so hard to predict. I mean, you mentioned it in one of the previous games. How do you draft against Zenith? You just don't know what they're going to pull out of the rabbit's hat, and whether it works or not, they are going to throw something unexpected at you, curveballs here or there, whether it's a Pudge, an Undying, a Pugna, whether they go for the offensive tri-lane, something we almost never see nowadays. They are keeping teams on their toes, but we'll have to see if they play a little bit more stable this time around. A lot of good heroes still left in the pool. Lycan has not been banned in any of these 3 games, and that is just something we never see. We really don't.
Yeah. Which, I mean, real fast, Kunkka, by the way, has been seeing some competitive play. If you're looking for a Kunkka replay, you want to check out Mouthsport. Seems to play it very nicely. They always run it with the Shadow Demon Disruption into Torrent. A very good start of a team fight if you land your Torrent and Bolt. But that has nothing to do with this game, as we're going to see Disruptor. Yeah!
Man.
HY showing a wide range of picks. So when you pick a Disruptor, you're always starting off with a great team fight AoE. I like how they went for this instead of Darkseer as an opening pick. We just want to be honest, I really want to see how Disruptor is going to fit into a pro game. And, well, what better place to see it than the first set of the World Tour, brought to you guys by DotaCommentaries.com.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see where he'll be laning, how he'll be played. Will he be that hard support? Will they put him mid, try and get a quick level 6? Disruptor, if you can get a good, if you can get that pit up in a good way, you can really control a team fight. But the question is, will he be able to find it? Also, picking a lot of heroes that are blinkers, unless he gets glimpse off, they can just jump on out of it. So we'll have to see. I'm very curious, but I feel like Disruptor, the best hero to combo with is probably that Darkseer, and Darkseer is available if they want to go for that.
I just got a confirmation to ask you to check whether your mic is on. I'm not sure whether this refers to Dota TV or your mic's on in general, or your mic's on the stream.
Yep, sorry about that for all of you in Dota TV, but it is on now. I do have to turn it on manually every game in the console so that my voice doesn't flit in and out. But there you go. Do apologize for missing that. Hopefully in the future we won't. But how is Orange going to respond? Looks like they're going standard again. Chaos Knight and Leshrac, a lot of burst damage, some push power to boot. Something we see a lot from pretty much every corner of the world.
I mean, this is exactly what Zenith want, right? They want to practice against a standard lineup with unconventional strategies, and that's exactly what we're getting. Orange is getting good practice running those standard lineups at home as well. And of course, we viewers at home love this. Like, we want to see Disruptors. I was tapping on chat. Some people are saying Phantom Assassin, that would be a sweet pick. Templar Assassin, that would be great as well. We just want to see unconventional picks, unconventional strategy, and Zenith is bringing it home, boys. So, I love it.
You mentioned Templar Assassin. It's a hero I would love to see. Now, she does struggle against spells that do a bunch of damage every few seconds. Here's like Venomancer. Leshrac's Edict, pretty strong against her as well. Disruptor has a decent amount between his nukes. He can it procs 3 times with the lightning bolt, so it's not these heroes are not necessarily shaping up to be the perfect situation to pick her, but she is just such a strong hero. I'm actually a little surprised we haven't seen her yet. I feel like if you want to go for something a bit off the beaten track, that is probably the hero that's most likely to be a competitive staple. But these teams are not going for it so far. I am curious what we're going to see moving forward, though. Shadow Demon is probably the next hero that Orange is going to look to bring off the board to set up that Leshrac and give you just even more burst damage. But for now, it's Zenith who have the choice of what heroes they want. Sandcade to start, and it's a good way to help set up the Disruptor's pit, and Venomancer to follow. A lot of teamfight here, a lot of nuke damage.
A lot more mobility, you might imagine, as well. We talked about how Sand King, once he picks up a Blink Dagger, suddenly you're looking at 2-3-man Burrow Strike, big damage, big stun, and that sets you up with that, whatever that circle thing on the ground is called from Disruptor. I feel like I should know that, but I haven't seen that hero enough. I will quickly make sure. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, sorry, I was just telling people in the chat I turned the mic on. No, I missed what you
Kinetic
said.
Field. Kinetic Field. It really sets up Kinetic Field if you hit 2-3-man Burrow Strike and, of course, Static Storm to follow up. Man, when they're silenced up by Static Storm, you could channel the hell you want to your dream's content.
Yeah, it's a great synergy there. I mentioned Darkseer. I still feel like that's the ultimate combo. I mean, pretty much with every big AoE spell. But if you can pull them into the Kinetic Field, I believe you can. Actually, I'm not sure. Do you know if you can?
Yeesh. I want to say no.
Well then that wouldn't be the wouldn't be. I guess you have to vacuum first and then drop the Kinetic Field. Still, very potent combo. If you could pull them in, that would be even stronger. But you know what you could do is drop the Kinetic Field, and then before it actually goes up, you can vacuum them on top of it. So either way, the point is that Thrall is a hero that really needs synergy to be effective, and so far Zenith have a good bit of synergy. Orange going for a lot of single target focus here, some early push power, very aggressive lineup with the Enchantress. Definitely want to knock down some early towers, get that early advantage in terms of hero kills.
Now, what's one of the things in this game that you want to look forward to is the laning presence and the laning heroes. One of the weaknesses of all these kind of unconventional heroes that they're pretty weak in the laning stage, or at least not as strong as the stable picks. And if you lose the laning stage, well, it doesn't matter what sweet lineup you have, like what we saw from Zenith last game. You're not going to run that lineup successfully, and you're going to just lose very quick. So Zenith, look towards them to pick a little bit better in terms of laning, and hopefully they're going to be banning a little bit better laning heroes away from their enemies. And more Windrunners are always a good place to start off.
Yeah.
And hopefully they don't run, random tri-lanes with Undying. I love it, but wasn't too effective.
Well, there's just no margin for error, and already I have to say Zenith can go much better into the late game, even if they pick 2 pushers, even if they pick heroes that don't have late game. They have a pretty good team fight already with Sand King, Venomancer, and Disruptor. So I feel like no matter what Zenith go for from here, Lumi, they're going to be okay in that late game situation. I guess the question is, what are they going to pick? Are they going to go for a hard carry? I mean, they ban out the Morphling, so maybe they don't want to face one. Sometimes you'll see, I mean, of course, Morphling is just a strong hero, but sometimes if teams want to try and, sort of have that late game insurance, they'll ban out as many strong carries as they can so they don't have to worry about them if the game does go late. Morphling also very difficult to lock down here. I believe you can wave it for him out of the Kinetic Field. Also just very difficult to chase him down. And Zenith, they're pretty good in chasing. They're not amazing. I am curious. I'm very curious to see how they're going to round out their lineup for both of these teams. Will Orange go for more teamfight? Will they go for more push? We're going to find out soon, but first it's Zenith.
I'm not sure why you're trying to predict Zenith. There's no use to predict them because they're definitely not going for conventional strategies.
There you go.
So we are going to find out one way or another whether the Kinetic Field will work with Vacuum. I would incline to think no, but hey, we're learning together, right?
Well,
now,
you can
always you're going to go with.
You can always pull them in before the Kinetic Field actually activates. When you drop it, I think it's a second and a half of time before it goes up, and that's when you're held in place. So no matter what, they always have that combo available. It's an outrageous team fight for Zenith.
Right. Anything that involves the Darkseer is outrageous. Again, laning is actually very decent for Darkseer, as well as Sand King. I wonder what Sand King is going to be doing. Is he going to be farming for a quick Blink Dagger? Or is he going to be going for, standard support kind of thing, arcane into drums and all that stuff? But
yeah, it's a great question. What roles are each of these heroes going to be put into? Will Disruptor be a hero that gets farmed? Will he be a hard support? He can kind of go either way. He's sort of similar to Rubik or Wisp in that respect. You want some levels and some farm on him. but he doesn't desperately need to get huge. You know, he's not a hard carry. He's not a hero that has to have an item like a Blink Dagger to be effective in the late game or the mid game. I'm very curious how Zenith are going to land this and what roles they're going to put these heroes into. To me, that's one of the things to keep an eye on.
10 seconds remaining.
Clinks.
Ooh.
Orange slow rolling it. It's going to be the Clinks, which does give you a very, very key silence when you do pick up the Orchid. Of course, very, very mobile carry. Can go for pickoffs and ganks. Unfortunately, I think Zenith, for the most part, will be staying as a party of 5, and not sure Clinks is a hero that you want. He will be required to get a blocking bar as soon as he can after that Orchid to basically stay alive and do anything. I'm not sure whether I like that choice as a semi-carry here.
Well, Lumi, according to the chat, I believe we have a verdict. The consensus seems to be that the vacuum kinetic field combo does work.
5 seconds.
Yeah, Orchid would be pretty strong against Zenith, though, to go back to your point about this Clinks. And, well, he gives you a lot of mobility. It looks like what Orange wants to do is go for those early ganks, kind of spread the map out. They want to try to avoid the team fight from Zenith, and it seems like a smart choice. Oh, buddy. Speaking of team fight.
Team pick.
I wonder what Zenith is trying to do here. I have no idea.
Well, I guess the question, how does Zenith go late game? And I guess the answer is they really don't. They have great team fight.
What do you mean how they go late game? They go all 5 mid. That's their late game. Anytime they want, they could do that.
Right. But if you ever get a BKB up on the Clinks, the Chaos Knight, there's no answer for that. The Darkseer wall, I suppose. But it's all magical damage. It's all team fight. There's nothing that goes through BKB. There's no kind of right-click carry. There's no one that scales really well with items. That being said, it is a very scary team fight. A BKB is a big item to farm up. Very different styles here for both teams.
5 seconds
I mean, to be honest, BKB on paper is the solution, but you gotta have at least 2 or 3 BKB to be truly effective. Sure, Clinks could BKB or Chaos Knight could, but if everybody else is dying, well, it's not gonna be.
Right.
Like, yeah, sure, Chaos Knight's gonna
point.
survive, but what he's gonna do? You also gotta keep in mind the Phantasm Illusions. It's not gonna do a jack squat here, as they will get blown up very quickly. Very interesting choice, late pick a Beastmaster here. Will actually give you the stun, and of course a push is not irrelevant as you're disrupting a team fight for Zenith. I'm talking about the push out and slowing them of the Beastmaster Roar. So, yeah, I'm not sure whether Orange is going to be able to take on this big ball of awesomeness that's going to be charging their mid lane in some point in game.
Right.
But again, it goes back to laning. Whether you could shut them down in the laning stage is going to be a big determinant of this game.
Well, Zenith are pretty strong in the lane, though. I mean, Sand King, not the best. He wants some levels. Venomancer are very strong in the lane. Darkseer, Tidehunter, pretty strong as well. And I would say Disruptor is one of the stronger heroes in the laning phase.
Yeah.
You want at least 2 levels in him. You definitely want to get more if you can, but you need at least 2 for the nuke and the kinetic field. The nuke being the Thunderstrike. Still, it's a very interesting clash of styles. Every game in this series so far, the 2 teams have picked radically different lineups, and it's going to continue here. I'll introduce Orange, you can introduce Zenith. We have Ice playing that. Chaos Knight, that is Ice, not Ice, Ice, Ice. They are 2 different players. Mushi on the Clinks. Looks like he may be heading to the offlane. Winter, 500 gold in the bank. Only a pack of tangos for him. Yamate, I hope you play the Beastmaster. Yamate playing the Leshrac. Looks like it will be a farming Leshrac. And X playing that support. Enchantress, Smoke of Deceit already picked up.
I just want to point out that Ice has purchased Observer Wards on his Chaos Knight, something that we would never ever see. But yeah, going back on the other side, Zenith is smoked up very aggressively, looking for those pickoff. They did in game 1 as well. Unfortunately, smoke has ran out, and they have not found anyone just yet. They do see Ice, and that means I see them as well, and they're not going to get too much. HY playing that Tidehunter, XY handling that Disruptor, Loda on his Darkseer again, Ice on the Sand King, and of course X Freedom playing Venomancer for a 2nd game in a row. He does have Sentry Wards ready, so let's see if he's going to scope something out. I think they're going to try to ward off jungle. Yeah, they're blocking camps. They're just chilling in the I have no idea what they're doing, but
they really
this is awesome to see.
Are they just gonna stand in the camps until the creeps spawn? Now you can block them with wards. You can also just body block them. It doesn't look like it, but Zenith are trying to establish control over the enemy jungle. Big camp is warded off. Still, you mentioned the early sentry wards, so they should be able to. Wait, was that for the? No, sorry, that was for the radiant. But they have a lot of gold on the Beastmaster, so if they need sentry wards, he could definitely buy them up. Zenith circling around.
And Sentry Wards coming on the courier, yeah. Somewhat saved up 200 gold. Very, very smart use.
Ice.
The gold engagement is happening right now. They see Ice, and I see them, but he needs to dodge the gale. If he dodges the gale, he should be fine. And here's a kinetic field, and, well, Ice is basically dead. Nice 2-second stun as a parting gift, but are we going to have a quad lane push from the get-go?
This is something we've seen Dare do in the past. They like to run that early quad lane. It hasn't always worked out for them. It's a very unorthodox strategy. They do have 1 hero farming over a mid. That would be a crucial hero for the team. HY. Zenith don't have the best push. They can clear creep waves. Not too much damage to the tower. There's no Edict. There's no minions. Eventually they'll get this, but it is a big trade-off. We have a Beastmaster free farming bottom.
I disagree. I think they have great push. Look at how easily Loda's chopping down the entire creep wave. I mean, it's going to take them at least 2 minutes or so to bring down this tower. Perhaps they're actually going to bring it down right now, but that's a quick tier 1, and I feel like Orange is making a mistake. They are not responding correctly. Ice right now should not even be near. You actually push the other lane. You trade towers, and that's exactly what Yamate is going that way. Yeah. Unfortunately, he has skills Split Earth and not Diabolic Edict at 1, and that means that his pushing power is going to be significantly weaker. Now, an immediate teleport here from Darkseer to rotate off. It's a great start for Zenith. They got a tier 1 tower in, what, 1.5 minutes? They didn't lose too much EXP. In fact, they are higher EXP compared to Orange right now. Orange just got blindsided really quick.
I love the decision here by Zenith. They get the first blood, they get the early tower, then they back off. They don't stay with 4 top, they don't try and end the game. They don't try and go for the tier 2. They start getting the levels, and so a lot of times when you see teams go for these early 4 hero pushes, they fall really far behind in terms of levels, but that's not going to happen for Zenith. They're going to catch right back up.
And the cool thing about this is look at the wards up being by Orange right now. What are they going to do as they're pushing a tier 2? Not much is the answer. As those region of the map being seen is not too important for Orange. And look at Ice, level 1.5 right now. If he gets Burrow on Kinetic Field, he is in big trouble as well. It's making hard for X to play in the jungle. Suddenly he doesn't know who's charging in. He can't really gank effectively, and obviously he's not going to be pushing anytime soon. So right now, yeah, I feel like Zenith, their early game play has thrown Orange completely off balance.
Yeah, they really are, and we'll have to see how Orange sort of responds to this in the mid game. For the moment, they're gonna leave Sand King up top, roam towards mid. The ward will be good for this at least. You gotta spot the rotation in from XY as well as Freedom, and it's a Clinks. Very difficult here to gank. I don't think they have detection, but they might just try and push a couple more towers, at least pressure this lane. Roaming back and forth. The camp's still blocked off. Where is Enchantress gonna go right now? She's actually in the enemy jungle at the moment. Not gonna help with this dive. And it looks like they might go for the dive now. Ice, Burrow Strike in to start. Kinetic Field to follow the Gale as well, holding him in place. Do they have the burst? It looks like Ice will be the first one to go down. Chaos Knight very tanky. He will die, but it's 2 for 1. Not the best trade. Beastmaster maybe looking for 3. XY tanky the tower. Big overextension from Zenith. Heavily punished. And well, I mean, that's the danger of tower diving early on, especially against Chaos Knight. He's quite tanky.
You have 2 seconds stun under towers, under a tier 2 tower no less. Is not exactly where you want to be. HY handling the mid lane decently, I want to say. He's actually even in terms of farm against Mushi. He is bottom crawling like his life depends on it. But once he hits a quick level 6, do look towards Zenith to play a lot more aggressive, whether it's going to be actively ganking or tower pushing, because you will have the ability to do so. Meanwhile, on the bot lane here, Loda trying to handle that lane, Enchantress warding him off. They want this tier 1 tower. Yamate does have 2 points in the Edict, and that siege unit is available, so as soon as they destroy this one, they're going to go right in, and Enchantress so far, again, warding off that creep wave, making sure it doesn't come off tower range. Just to say that, she's not doing that anymore. Okay.
Well, smart decision by her to back off, because in comes Freedom, and Zenith very quick to respond to the pressure. Big difference here from how Orange played it up top, so they're not going to give up the tier 1. In fact, it's barely even going to take damage. And normally in this situation, when you have a Leshrac, when you have an Enchantress, you look to get those early towers. You look to get a kill and then push it with Edict as well as the creeps. So far, they're just not finding the openings.
Yeah, they're not. I think rotation from Zenith is looking absolutely perfect. And Tidehunter is ever so close to that Doomsday level 6. Mushi invisible right now. Trying to pick off HY. He's doing a lot of plus damage with that flame arrows. And that might even send HY's back. Ooh, Dark Green was trying to gank in. This is a roaming Chaos Knight. The way that he's playing right now, not going to do too much. Meanwhile, Ice is putting points into Cossack Finale. I love the choice, considering that they were pushing. But now that I think he's going to be actively looking for more points into Sandstorm and more levels for his ultimate as well as a Blink Dagger.
Interesting play here by Mushi. I mean, you talk about skill builds. He's opted for a point in stats. Really not something you see a whole lot of from Clinks. Normally the ultimate gives you all the HP you need as well as a lot of damage. But I guess Mushi just trying to get a little bit of survivability, stay alive here. Skeleton Walk really scales well. I mean, you have a 1 point in strength, or strafe, but the other skills scale well. They're gonna make a go here on HY. No Ravage just yet. Kraken Show will proc, will not be enough. I don't think. No, he bottles up. He's gonna live. No, is he gonna live? He comes back in. He's still tanking. He's baiting like a boss. And that Kraken Shell, that bottle actually keeps HY alive. Completely failed gank, only a level 3 Chaos Knight. They do drive the Tidehunter back. They deny him the level 6 for now, but they were expecting to have that kill with me.
Stout shield, Kraken Shell, and of course the minus 40% damage reduction from Anchor Smash. Every survivability in the book. And look at the bot lane now. Zenith, of course, having the better rotation, having the better pushing hero in the form of Loda. Now looking for the tier 1 on the bot lane here. And let's see if Orange wants to actively defend this one. Yamate in position. Winter is here. Do we have the Beastmaster Roar? Well, not anymore, since he's out of mana at this point. Has to wait for the Soul Ring cooldown. Meanwhile, on the top lane here, Sanking doing work as well. I just feel like Zenith, they're getting more resources out of the map. They're constantly farming in every single lane. They're applying pressure everywhere as well. And they're forcing Orange's hand. And Orange is losing creep as they're rotating here and there.
Right, it really comes down to that early tower, because now Ice can farm aggressively in the lane, doesn't have to worry about getting ganked. And, you know, it also means the tower not going to be stopping the creep, so they're pushing even farther into your territory. It really limits Orange's ability to move around. It's the combination of that Sandcade up top, the tri-lane down bottom, and Tidehunter just hanging on for his dear life. Now that is one lane where the Clix is really dominated right now, 37-2. Tidehunter 22-1, he's still doing a great job considering the matchup. This is a Clix who's getting a very good start. 37 creeps in 7 minutes. He could be a problem for Zenith come the mid game.
I feel like that good start, as we see a surge on the bot lane on XY. They want Yamate just far enough away that he should be fine. I think that great start comparison on HY to Mushi, I think that's a little bit of a false great start. Yeah, HY is slowing down, but you gotta keep in mind he was playing by himself for a long time. His team was doing a lot of dirty work on the other side of the map. You gotta keep in mind that Mushi got a gank, and of course Tidehunter got nothing, and also HY is going to be a lot more effective in the next 10 minutes or so compared to that Bone Cling. So even though Mushi's doing a little bit better on the mid lane, I don't think it's going to mean too much.
Well, it's also even the Tidehunter, although he's not getting the farm, or at least not the best farm, he's got the Ravage. If they want to go 4-man push right now, you can't take a fight with Zenith. I mean, that was the thing we talked about in the pregame, is Arns are just not built for the early team fights. Sure, late game with the BKBs, they might be able to deal with it, but Lumi, I feel like if this Tide shows a bottom, they're just going to have to forfeit at least one, if not two towers. And Burrow Strike in from Ice.
It's happening right now. Ultimate goes off. It gets canceled. But the Vacuum and the Kinetic Field combo online here. Winter half HP, and they're not going to chase. Great job here for Zenith. Not overextending. No, they didn't chase because they recalled him back. And that was another kill against Beastmaster. Glimpse from XY, just shuking everything. And here comes that tier 1 tower. Very low in HP.
That is the power of the Disruptor. Even as a support, only 1 point in Glimpse. You saw it there. He's actually going to be maxi at first. It does scale very well with levels. The range goes up dramatically, and more importantly, or perhaps more importantly, the cooldown gets cut in half. They get another tower. 2 towers claimed. Mid still not down. When even Clinks, I mean, we didn't mention it, but he's a great pusher in his own right. So far, they just haven't been able to bring any towers down. Leshrac, Beastmaster, Clinks, and let's see that Beastmaster. Is he going for Inner Beast? No, he's going for the ganker build, but can be a pusher if he opts for Inner Beast. And of course, he's got the axes. They might finally claim one. The glyph has already been used. Pressure onto the mid lane. Mushi, no points in strafe yet, but I think he's going to get this tower. Rotation coming in. Will it be in time? The tower's dropping low. Is he going to pay for this with his life? He just might. As a glimpse of the start, or excuse me, actually no, the Thunderbolt start. He's held in place in the dome. No detection. Killed the tower just in time. Without that, he probably would have died.
Yeah, the illusion of the Klings actually did the final shots. Unfortunately, no one from Zenith went for the deny, and well, and here comes Winter. He has the Beastmaster Roar, and there we go. Push everybody on side one. Look at X's HP dropping so very quickly, and the last hit being claimed here by Mushi. And Mushi, I mean, I talked about he was having a small lead, but that small lead has grown as he has get another last hit on tower, as well as a hero last hit. He's got the Ring of Aquila, 1,750 gold in the bank. Is it going to be Oblivion Staff first, or is it going to be Treads?
We'll have to see. I mean, I feel like there's a lot of pressure on this Clinks right now. They gave up a lot to get him farmed, and I mean, look at the Chaos Knight. Boots is it's level 6. He's not having a good time at all. Top lane, they're gonna make it go on Sandcade. Chaos Bolt to start. He burrow strikes out. Will he get away? It looks like he might. There's no roar. Reality Rift not gonna be able to bring it back in, and in the end, he will escape.
Man,
almost had the burst.
Any second a little bit late, it would not have done it. And Mushi now trying to defend that tier 1 on the mid. HY leading the charge again, considering that he does have the Ravage. And here comes a Gush Gale, and a whole bunch of spell on Mushi. Detection is going to be dropped. Mushi in big trouble, and it looks like no one could teleport in against this lineup here. Mushi is going to be left alone, and here we go. Ravage going to get dropped just on one hero. Can you bring down Ice? Now Mushi, HY is going to get brought down. Yeah, a couple more right clicks is going to do the job. And meanwhile, Chaos Knight does go down after a chase. XY does die as well. The Urn, will it do enough damage against Leshrac? Leshrac should be fine. Gets out of a double damage as the chase goes the other way. Meanwhile, Ice is looking for a little bit more kills. Man, just so many more action. I gotta say, that not the best Ravage ever used. And to be honest, the first Ravage game is very, very key. And kind of whiffed it.
Well, you know, he at least helps his teammates get out of there. It wasn't the best Ravage. Whoops, I just lost control of my camera there. But consider the situation, I'm not going to fault him too much for it. The one thing I will say is that was a very chaotic fight, chasing all over the place, and that is where Orange can shine. If it's a very organized, sort of well-ordered fight, that's going to favor Zenith. They've got the team fight, they've got the AoE, they've got the Wombo combo. If it's all over the place, then heroes like Enchantress with her heal, Clinks with his mobility, and his burst damage, that's where they're going to shine. So it's the kind of fight Orange could win. They can win these fights, they've just got to be the chaotic kind.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Although I don't think Zenith is lacking in the chaoticness as well. I mean, they got good single targets.
Well, they don't have a Chaos Knight, Lumi, so there's
right,
that.
they don't. Well, then they're losing in terms of chaos. I'll give you that one. Now, there's one really cool thing that you could look for is when Zenith, when they're pushing down a tower, and if anybody try to TP in and defend that one, you could actually recall them back using disruptors. Right. Yeah, so you could glimpse them back to the base or wherever they came from. So certainly that's a -1. But right now, Bonklins is trying to backstab someone, and he definitely does have the damage output to kill someone, provided they are stunned long enough.
He's gone for a lot of stats here. Power charge, Rena kill, Burrow strike in on ice. Oh, vacuum back in and piss that Thunderdome in action. Ice in a lot of trouble. The Disruptor is the first casualty aboard, and it looks like Zenith may have overextended. Without the Ravage, these fights are rather difficult for them. Freedom gonna get picked off as well. He goes down too, and now in from the back lines comes HY, but what can he really do? Not a whole lot. Might actually get caught out here. He's treading dangerously, just out of range. They're not gonna chase. What can Orange turn this into? Will they go for Roshan? Will they just get the lanes pushed out? I'm not sure, but Lumi, these fights are looking good for them right now. Uh-oh, Burrow strike in on Yamate. Oh, he's going to get canceled in the middle of the epicenter of the back. You made a lot of bursts. If they had that epi, that was an easy triple. But instead, the Roar saving the day, and now the chase goes the other way. HY gets pulled back in. A lot of damage. There's your Ravage. Yamate in a lot of trouble. He gets gushed down. 4-second chaos ball. HY not going to get out of that one. And Mushi still at full HP. And these chases going to be able to do a lot of damage. Loda on the run. Impetus as well. One more Impetus might be enough. No, but meanwhile, Chaos Knight gets picked up. God, these fights are just all over the map. Loda's still in the retreat. I'm not sure Mushi can actually bring him down. Meanwhile, X running for his life, and I think this is a hero that will be going down. Gale is coming off cooldown. 3 seconds. They're not going to need it. Thunderdome is online. He gets pulled back in, and he will die. Woo! So after all is said and done, Orange lose 4.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, Zenith is not too bad in terms of chaotic fight themselves. They have great spammable stuns, they have great chasing power, and of course, you have recall kinetic field. It's a great chasing combo, and they're going to bring down tier 1. So, with that said, alright, who's teleporting? Who's the brave soul? It is going to be a Chaos Knight. He's going to actually take 1v3 here.
This is
chase a little bit.
This is a Chaos Knight with an urn and a magic wand. This is not a farmed Chaos Knight, but Ice is still charging in 1v3. Oh, man.
Man, I guess, I mean, you got the movement speed, and you got the strength, so why the hell not? But, yeah, he smartly backs it off. And in this stage of the game, it is 10-10, but I'm not sure whether it is
HY gets roared. He's going to get burst down. And Orange continue to find the openings. I gotta say, considering Zenith's start, it seemed like they were in full command, but Orange just struck back. They're really trading well here. If you look at gold and experience, gold's still favoring the Radiant. Experience dead even, and most of that gold, in fact, all of it, I think. Well, no, most of it is due to towers. A little bit better of a farm advantage, but not a big deal.
I mean, but look at the gold, how much gold they got, and how much wards is on the map. Now, normally I love having wards or dewarding like a machine in mid lane as well, but having to deal against a Clinks also means your supports are going to be pressure in terms of having to buy Sentry wards or Dust or whatever else. And these supports are the first one to be picked off. Mushi playing what you should play as you're playing Clinks. Does that even make sense? You're basically backstabbing, looking for heroes, and he sees XY right now. XY, is he dead?
Well, Orange just smoked under a ward and a sentry, so that had to have been spotted. The question is, are they... That looks like they're going to back off towards the tower. The ward's certainly paying off in that respect. Oh, this could be a huge opportunity for Zenith. I believe all the ultimates are online. No Ravage on cooldown for 10 seconds. Should come online at the perfect time, and HY has the TP. He's ready to go. Oh, this is going to be an outrageous fight. Can't wait to see how it starts. It's going to start with Mushi, Idiot Creep, and backing off. Meanwhile, in comes the huge gank trade. Zenith had to have seen this one coming. Burrow strike, vacuum. They're all trapped. Will it be enough to Venom Answer? Look at the team fight here. Oh, man. 3 heroes. two heroes go down. The Beastmaster dropping low. Loda is going to get another pick, but Mushi is the one they really need to pick off. So far, they haven't got him. Loda on the retreat out. Looks like he might even get away. Freedom tries to TP. Not going to be enough, and now he's turning around, trying to right-click, trying to trade blows. You cannot trade. Why did HY not TP? I am just baffled. That could have been a team wipe, but in the end, he goes for the push top instead.
I mean, they had a beautiful start in the team fight, to be honest. I thought they won it, and maybe that's why they're like, oh, I don't need a TP in. I got a pressure tier 2. But at the end, their AoE was not enough, and HY really needed a TP. But as exchange, he's very, very close to his Blink Dagger. Hopefully he will TP with that Blink Dagger next time, though.
Well, that is going to be the game changer, at least for this team. I mean, they already have great initiation. Speaking of Blink Daggers, Ice not going for one, so they're going to rely on this Tidehunter to go in first. You've got Vacuum and Gale as well. You've also got Glimpse, and then you could throw down. I just love the crowd control of this kinetic field. It seems like Zenith, I don't know if they practice this combo, but they seem very comfortable using it. And you really got to give them props for that. I don't think they've run this hero before in a competitive game. At least I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
I think the X factor here for HY and his team is that HY cannot be out of position. He got picked off multiple times. We saw earlier on the bot lane, as you pointed out. And also, he's definitely very, very trigger happy with that Ravage. And he cannot be letting that loose. That has a 150-second cooldown. It's a big deal. Looks like, again, they smoked up right under a Hawk this time, or under
these smoke ganks are just not working out for either team, but they're going to surge in and make it go. Not going to announce anything. This gank might be more effective. Roar to start. He's got a haste run up. They have to chain it perfectly. Splitter just missing, but they get him anyway. Even with the Vitality boost.
He finished a Vanguard.
Late Vanguard, and it's a Vanguard on Tidehunter. Well, guys, I will tell you one thing. Kraken Shell does not stack with the Vanguard. Damage block in general does not stack. Oh, they're going to pull him back in and trap Winter. Gale to follow. They're going to get Winter from the looks of it. They're going to bring him down. Will it be enough? Yamate caught in the middle of everyone. Clinks comes in. Zenith, not the most organized fight for them, but so far they've gotten one. They really need the Ravage. They just don't have it right now. Oh, they pull him back in. Oh, look at this Venomancer, though. Look at the damage. Two heroes trapped in the pit again. Dropping low. It looks like Zenith is winning another fight without a Ravage. Two picked off. Mushi will barely get away with his life. Just, I mean, they're winning these fights without the Ravage. Imagine if they ever get the full combo.
This one they won flat out. Last one I'm not so sure. But yeah,
it was close.
If HY ever wants to play Dota and not StarCraft 2, man, Zenith could be rolling all over everybody. And yeah, Zenith is looking to at least get some damage on that tier 2. I'm not sure whether they can push it down, but they'll try that.
Yeah, I mean, after all these back and forth engagements, it seems like Zenith's starting to pull away again in both departments, experience and gold. And more importantly, they're looking to seize the map control, trying to knock this tower down. Ice coming in from the side, and boy, is he's behind, has not picked up any items. Chaos Bolt to start, 4-second stun. They're going to continue to chase here in Ice. Burrow Strike away, looks like he should be okay. But Orange hold on to that crucial tier 2.
Yeah, Ice also has opted for a Vanguard, which I guess makes a little bit more sense here, considering that he does need a little bit tanky power, and he could rely on his teammate to initiate. But I think the initiator really is just Loda. Loda, by the way, has a pipe finish. He is doing great. He could basically surge in, and that's going to be really their initiator. And if everything stacks up, like Surge, Vacuum, Burrow Strike, Kinetic Field, then you don't really need the Blinks, and it does make sense to get the Vanguard there. And here we go. Here comes a Zenith team fight, and they are all together. This is very, very scary.
One thing that Orange is lacking, normally when you play against the team fight lineup, you want a pipe and a mechanism. They have neither.
Yep.
At least I didn't spot one. That's going to make this a very difficult fight, and looks like they're just going to sit real far back, try and go for the split push. Yamate gets a tier 1. The pipe is used. The glyph is still available, but I just don't see if there's any point to using it. No, they are going to use it. The glimpse in, and the narrowly missing on the kinetic field. That would have been dead X, and Mushi comes in. Burrow Strike not going to hit. They have a gem. They spotted him somehow. Gush onto X, and maybe they're going to chase this. No, looks like HY, very aggressive play. Chaos Bolton and the Imps taking a lot of damage under the tower, trying to bait heroes in. But Orange is positioning properly, which is to say very far away from that scary fishman.
Well, I think HY says, yeah, we'll keep going. We still have everything. Pipe is coming off cooldown just in a few seconds. And here's no more places for the Orange Squad to run. They gotta take this fight in front of their tier 3. No more Glyph as well. Ice, of course, don't have Blink, neither does the TIE Hunter. And are they gonna actually make it go? Ice taking a little bit of tower shot, and HY, all eyes on him. He's gonna get surged, he's gonna get picked up. And meanwhile, look at what Orange is doing. They're swarming around this ball. They're trying to poke in from all angles, but it's just tough. Every angle you come into, that Ravage is always so threatening.
Where is the weak point right now? The Venomancer's got a mechanism. The Disruptor is 1k HP. He's got an Urn and a Bracer.
Oh, Mushi, he's seen him by a ward. He's trapped in. He's done. Burrow strike on him. Oh, man. Does he have buyback? Does he have buyback? He does.
Oh, just barely, I believe. Yeah, actually, he's got 300 gold, so a little bit extra, but he's going to be forced to use it. And if he dies again, he's not going to buy back. Surge in onto the Sand Cave. BKB is used by Yamate. Split Earth. Oh, where's the Split Earth? The Ravage. Doing a look at the damage by Yamate. Chewing through everyone, but it's not going to be enough. They drop low, but they don't get the kills, and that's the power of the mech and the pipe. Now Zenith are going to go for the racks.
And Zenith gotta get those racks as quick, because BKB is online on Leshrac. If they get one more BKB, you're losing a lot more effectiveness on your Ravage and whatever other team fight spell. They're working on this tower. The racks might sustain heavy damage. Question is, will it get dropped down? Leshrac's gonna be back in position to start defending with Lightning Storms and whatever else. Yeah, we talked about how effective Lightning Storm is. He's maxing it right now. Melee racks down to half HP. Ice is going on Mushi. Mushi gets scaled up. He's trapped within. Nice vacuum backwards. There's the answer being and here comes Yamate. Post Nova on top of everybody. Double kill on Leshrac right now. The melee rack's still alive. Freedom gets faked off. The wards focusing on the racks, but they don't have enough damage. Yamate defends splendidly. My goodness. And again, the next time that the Radiant's pushing, there's BKB for them to deal with.
Oh.
I don't know how to call this game. Who's ahead right now?
It's close. I feel like if Orange could just hold on a little bit longer, you know, the BKB is up on the Leshrac. Maybe get that Orchid complete on the Splinks, although it's not good. I mean, this is one of the downsides to his build, right? Is he went for a lot of early game items in the Wraith Band, the Ring of Akil, the Magic Wand, the Power Treads. You'll often see Clinks just sort of rush an Orchid, maybe get boots, maybe one other item, but not complete all of these. And, well, the Orchid's not going to be up for a while. But if they can hold on long enough, I do feel like Orange can win this in the late game. They have a lot of burst damage. Some heroes that scale well, the Leshrac. The Chaos Knight is just not going to carry. I mean, at this point, he's just got to get some tank items, try and just survive as long as possible. But the Clinks and the Leshrac, maybe they could be the answer. Before we talk about anything else, I just gotta point out these wards mid. Oh my god,
yeah.
I think that's like 500 golden wards, no, 400 golden wards, just for that push.
I mean, they're playing against the Clinks. I think it's completely worth it. And your question is whether they can hold on long enough, and I really don't think so. I mean, Zenith has a pipe, right? As they pop the pipe, they're invulnerable for a good duration.
Right.
And of course, Glyph is down, so there's no more defensive capability of Orange aside from their actual heroes. And of course, Ravage is going to be back right now in about 15 seconds. I hope they actually just wait it out and make sure they have the Ravage for the fight, or I think they're going to just go right in.
Well, Epicenter is up. I don't think they have the Ravage. It's up in 8 seconds. Oh, they're going to have everything. And that was the other thing I wanted to point out. The end of that last fight, Zenith, they used all their ults in the first sort of round of engagement. Then they didn't have them in the second, but this time they have everything. There's no Glyph, like you mentioned. This is a very precarious position for Orange.
Orange, let's see if they can hold on that racks, by the way, in about 1,000 HP. HY tries Ravage us back up. Here's a pipe. They're going to charge up the hill. Nothing Orange can do about it. And HY tries got to be careful. You cop the BKB, the roar. They want ice first. Can you burst them down the map? The pipe helping out. And here comes HY Troy. Huge Ravage. Where is it? There's the Ravage. A little bit late. Does catch Yamate. They want Yamate. He's the biggest DPS hero. And here we go. The Poison Nova gets dropped. And looks like Mushi, he is eating every pulses. He's going to be dead. Immediate buybacks here from Yamate. They're saving gold. They're going to defend one more time. I can't believe they're defending. Leshrac's getting so many kills. And the Rack's still alive at the end of the engagement. The wards, they're trying to do the damage, but it's not enough. That Rax is just regenning. As I say that, it's down to about 300.
Well, the Glyph is back up, Lumi, so Orange may be able to defend at least one more time. It's just a race. I mean, Zenith are really forcing the issue. Every time their ults are up, they're probably going to go push mid again until they get that Rax or lose the game. The Blink Dagger up on Ice. So now they have a Blink on Sandcade. And the Tide Hunter working towards what looks to be a Shiva's. Zenith just have an outrageous team fight, and it's where, you know, it's where you really want if you're on Orange to have a mechanism and a pipe. But again, they're not building those items.
I mean, you can't fault them for not building the items because they're definitely saving for buyback. We saw Leshrac
Right.
buying back. We saw Mushi buying back. And to be honest, if your name's Enchantress, you're dying every single fight. She's at 7 HP, and the burst damage is so fast that her healing attendant can't keep up. So I can't fault them for not having it, but you're absolutely right. They need that. They have to somehow pick it up on the ground or something. They desperately need it. But hey, the game is still alive for them, and Yamate will start to carry. He's up to 1600 HP. Unfortunately, he doesn't have buyback. That's the issue here.
Well, the other concern is Clix gets a solo kill, and it looks like, who was it? Venomancer was picked off on the bottom lane. Arch doing some split pushing, trying to spread the map here, go for those smaller engagements, really is where their team shines. But Zenith are going to try and force the issue again. Everyone
They're going to push.
Yeah, they're going to look.
They're going to push without their Venomancer. That's a very precarious choice. HY does not have Rash for 30 more seconds. And look at what Mushi's building. He's foregoing the Orchid. He's going for a straight BKB after the Oblivion Staff. And I think this ultimately is the correct choice. He does not have time to go Orchid first and go for that QC silence. He needs the raw tanking power of Blacking Bar. And once you have dual BKB up on Leshrac and Clinkz, man, this game is...
then it's going to get a lot harder for Zenith. Again, they have no answer to the BKB. They don't have a roar. They don't have a anything that goes through it really. So, no black hole, no swap. I mean, it could be trouble. Zenith, although they're in a commanding lead here with the gold, with the map control, aren't just hanging on. And the longer they hang on, the better things will look for them. The one thing I will say is, you really want Chaos Knight to get level. Well, actually, no, you don't. 'Cause they have too much AoE. But you'd like him to have some more items, so you could do something besides spam Chaos Bolt. Don't think that's going to happen, though. Zenith looking to go higher on the board, slowing down HY. Are they actually going to commit to this? The pipe is available.
Not yet. Not yet. They're going to try to get some... if they're going to get a kill on Yamate or force this BKB usage, that would be really good. That's a BKB being used. But unfortunately, well, they're dodging everything. HY is fine, and that was a huge committal.
Arja's in a world of trouble now.
Yep.
Oh, the gush on the Winter. Will they use Ravage just for him? Doesn't look like it. Burrow Strike through as well. The pit to hold him in place. Kinetic Field. Gonna disable for a while. He might live, but he's driven back, and now they're working on the rack. XY gets stunned. I believe that was a 4-second stun, but he gets surged out. So much defensive tanky power here for Zenith, and they're starting to work on the racks. Mushi windwalks one more time. Venomancer has rejoined the fight. He's got a Veil of Discord up. So much burst damage. Ravage, vacuum! Oh, and the pit as well! Oh, the humanity of it! Zenith just wipe out Arch. 2 heroes down. Immediate buyback. A Clinkz who's just constantly buying back. Really not what you want for your hard carry. And Zenith's still gonna get the racks. Oh boy, it's just Zenith are beating their head against the wall, but it was not a brick wall, and eventually they punched their way through. Now it's gonna be a whole lot harder for Arch to hold on.
And now there's a recall back. Oh my god, vacuum backwards for 2. Winter dies. Mushi just buyback. Can you get the kill on him? Yes, you can. And Zenith now with the Raxus down and killing the carries multiple times in the team fight. They have secured themselves the mid-game advantage, and they're going to be going for the other side towers. Look at the TPs on both sides of the map. Man, that push, they tried and Venomancer throughout the entire time. I was trying to point out, he's coming back with a mech and a Veil. It looked really bad for Zenith when they started the fight without the Venomancer, but they baited out the BKB.
Yeah,
they didn't lose any heroes.
That was the big thing. Baiting out the BKB. Just, I mean, Zenith probably would have won that fight anyway, I want to say. I don't think Leshrac can solo them down, but they might have lost a couple of heroes. Maybe they don't get both sets of racks, or maybe they lose the entire team trying to get the racks. With the BKB down, there's just nobody in Orange who can stand toe to toe with Zenith. There's really not. It's why we see the Clinkz going for the BKB, but with another buyback, he is not getting that anytime soon. No Orchid, no BKB. He had great farm. He had 8 or 9 CS. No, not 8 or 9, but like 7 or 8 CS mid at the 7-minute mark, and well, he's been forced to buy back. Zenith have forced the issue early and often, and they're not stopping yet. A glimpse as well as a vacuum. But they're not actually going to commit.
I mean, this is exactly goes back to my point earlier when we are talking about Tidehunter comparing to the Bone Clinkz. Yeah, Clinkz is farming a lot better, but he's not going to be as effective as a Tide in this early stage of the game. And so far, because he's bought back twice, he's going to remain ineffective until he picks up a BKB. I see the courier coming in. Unfortunately, that's not a BKB recipe. That is just a Ring of Regen. Cool.
The item progression for Ard. I mean, even though they held on mid so long, they did force a lot of buybacks. I think Leshrac bought back at least once, Clinkz twice between. It was 3 or 4 pushes before they finally got it. Now they're gonna knock down a tier 2, and it's just total map control for Zenith. Only Clinkz can really leave the base at the moment. Anyone else does, they're probably gonna die. And Zenith have all the ults up. Shiva's up on the Tidehunter. The ult's coming online in just 1 second. It's up now. The Veil of Discord amping up all the magical damage. God, they need the BKB so bad. They only have the one, and now it's down to a 7-second charge. Things are looking even bleaker. But for the moment, looks like they're waiting for something on the courier, and it's going to be, an Aghanim Scepter. Just one more big item pickup, even more tank. I mean, look at the HP on Zenith. Forget the mech and the pipe, 1400 health on the Venomancer and the Disruptor. You can't burst anyone down, and that's really what Clinks relies on in these team fights.
Yep. He wants to go for quick pickoffs, but can't get them if they have so much HP. There's a pipe. They're going to charge up the hill here. No, oh, Blink Burrow Strike on Yamate. They're going to force the BKB, not going to commit too much. And here's a couple of seconds for Yamate. Well, he's not going to do anything. And the next push is going to be the real one. Well, what the hell is Ice doing? He's in the back line of everything. 1v3. He's going to get murdered. Yep.
Maybe trying to bait a couple big spells. Not going to bait anything out. Just going to die. I mean,
buyback.
Doesn't really matter. This Chaos Knight is nothing. In charge is HY, Burrow Strike, and Ravage. Only hitting Witcher. The vacuum in. So the Kinetic again, they're trapped. Look at the burst damage. And a lot of it is that Veil of Discord. X being driven back to the fountain. The heal is done. He's done as well. Clicks, Mushi TP'd back. Just can't find anyone to pick off. Can't even really damage a hero. And now Zenith poised to take this series. They're going to knock down the bottom tier 3 and go for a second set of racks. No buyback on the Leshrac, no BKB charge even if he could. Chaos Knight, no buyback. I really don't think it would have mattered even if he was alive. But it's certainly not helping that he died there. And, well, Zenith are poised to take this series, Lumi. They really are.
I mean, it's very easy to say, man, Dire was out of position, Orange and all that stuff. But you gotta keep in mind, Orange can't actually take this team up in a team fight. They gotta poke and prod from multiple angles. That's why you see Mushi trying to backstab so many times. That's why you see Chaos Knight. Oh my god, the courier's gonna get assassinated. Alright, that's cute. Yeah, that's why you see Orange trying to poke in from different angles. They cannot go 5v5 team fight, not against this team.
Oh, Mushi.
And unfortunately, you have no margin for error. If you ever get picked off, it's done. And there's a GG call from X.
Well, Orange recognized the position there, and they're going to tap out. And really, you can't blame them. They're so far behind. Just so many buybacks forced. And, well, you know, even if you get break even in hero kills, if you force those buybacks, especially if you're fighting on the enemy side of the river, even though Orange win maybe one or two of those pushes, they can't turn it into anything. Someone really wants to deal with this courier. But,
there's a corpse of the courier.
Oh.
It's just like right there, it's dead, but it's the corpse is lying there.
Oh, Zenith honoring their fallen comrade. Which one is this? The Badger? I think that's the Badger courier. Oh, poor soul.
I think so.
He gave everything,
yeah,
and Yamate, speaking of giving everything, he's about to donate his life one more time to Zenith. Pulse Nova not going to be enough. Just waiting for the last few disconnects here to get our final scoreboard. Well, Lumi, in spite of the Disruptor pick, a much more conventional lineup here from Zenith. No late game to speak of, aside from the team fight, but man, did they make it worth. I gotta say, Zenith is looking to be, every time I cast them, they are one of the most versatile teams in the game. Whether they want to go gank, or push, or team fight, they could do it all.
I like how you pointed out no late game earlier. I was like, dude, their late game's all 5 mid, and well...
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't call those... I wouldn't call those 20-minute pushes the late game, but it certainly worked. You can't argue with the success. Traditionally, when we talk about late game, it is more that 40 to 50 minute mark, maybe 35, but either way. Venomous Scale, Poison Nova, a couple more kills before it's all said and done. Chaos Knight dies another time, and 1 and 11, not the start you hope for. Well, it really always goes back to that early tier 1 tower, the level 1 gank. I mean, they team smoke, the smoke gank failed, and then they still get the kill on Chaos Knight. Caught out of position. Zenith, the team that definitely knows how to exploit that early aggression, and then they capitalize on it. I love the way they played this game. They didn't get over-aggressive, they didn't over-commit to a push. They got a tier 1, they got a first blood, and then they back off. They get the mid-game items up, they get the farm up, then they go for their team fights, and they made it work so beautifully. Now they're going to claim the first series for the Beyond the Summit World Tour. Man, what a start to this event. Not sure if Lumi is still with me, but thank you all very much for this first best out of 3. Thank you all for tuning in. Hope you guys enjoyed the cast. We'll be coming back to you all with another best out of 3. This one between Absolute Legends and Complexity. So one Western team and of course the Oceanic, the Australian team. And Absolute Legends, although they do have a player who's not from Australia there in Bleak. But either way, looking forward to that. Thank you all for joining us for this first cast. This was Zenith versus Orange. Zenith takes it in a exciting series to say the least. 2-1 is your final series score. 36-21 the overall kill score. Stay tuned, guys. In about, actually, I think we're just gonna go live very soon, I believe.
we are actually right on time for the next series. If